Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Battlegrounds forum post to discuss. This time, it's pretty early, right? The early preview number 2, April 18th to 25th. Today's only April 5th, so we have a little ways before we are to encounter this. Actually, 13 days until we see this. But with that being said, let's read the post together. Greetings, Summoners. Due to the issues that many of you encountered during our initial early preview of Battlegrounds, we will be adjusting our planned Battlegrounds beta schedule. While we expected there to be some issues that needed to be fixed in our initial beta test, the experience did not meet the goals we had initially set, with many Summoners unable to match for long periods of time or encountering crashes during their matches. We showed this on video when I was doing Battlegrounds myself. We had so many submissions of people who recorded themselves. We had screenshots of crashes, everything. We have taken the time since the last test to address as many of these issues as possible and to be safe. Would like to run another test before committing an entire month to Battlegrounds and tying in greater rewards. We had initially planned for April to include a 30-day beta test, but we'll be pushing this back to May. We will be running another stress test with these fixes and improvements from April 18th to 25th, available to all players uncollected and above. Here is everything you need to know about what's changed in this test. Change log. Reset all Summoners Battlegrounds ratings points to 1500. Adjusted champion charges from 99 to 3. Previously, there was an issue with champion charges in regards to the rate at which they refreshed. Thus, we made the decision to increase the cap substantially for the duration of the initial March beta test. Pretty interesting. Rewards. Buy daily objectives. Added 2,000 claws for alarm crystal shards across the 5 milestones. So 250, 250, 250, and 1,000. Reduce the required number of matches to 2 per milestone for a total of 10. I think that's fantastic. You can complete this objective 4 times over the course of the week. Weekly. Added 5,000 6-star crystal shards to the final objective milestone. Again, that's substantial. I'm a huge fan of that. And the profile picture is still included for those who have yet to obtain it. This is your last chance. Now here is where it gets a little annoying, right? Buffs. Removed masochism, added safeguard. Now masochism was annoying but tolerable. Safeguard is so tough for so many good champions. This is also why I love and have always loved using Quake, and why I argued when I first got on YouTube, and I still argue today, that she is beyond God tier because she gets around Safeguard. But if you know that, you would be smart to ban Quake from competing, right? There are certain champions that are just worth banning. Safeguard prevents defenders from losing more than 1% of their health from a single damage source. Because we are testing both the functionality of the mode and how summoners interact with it in a more normalized world, we will not have free mastery changes during this event. Now, y'all, that was the most positive change. I had people tell me that this was the best thing that Kabam ever did for their quality of life, their mental health, because they were able to test some things out. They were able to reactivate things they had spent thousands of units on, like suicides, but hadn't had the motivation to do. And most importantly, this is another window. If let's say you get to the Act 7 final boss of Kang, and you know that suicides are most likely going to hurt you, and you want to take them off. Well, you can try exploring that final chapter of Act 7 during that period and tweaking your masteries, and you'll be saving yourself a precious and a significant amount of units by doing that. That's a mistake. Safeguard, whatever, you can get around with it. It doesn't say you have to win 10 matches, right? It just says you just have to complete 10 matches, so you could, in theory, lose all 10 and still get the milestones and still get the 5,000 6-star shards. I mean, I think that's fantastic. I'm not the biggest fan of Safeguard. In fact, it's one of the worst nodes that I get most annoyed with in the game, but at least we have a heads up to prepare for it, though some of you don't have the proper counters to really utilize a fair matchup in this setting. But saying we're continuing to research and develop ways for summoners to add different mastery trees to their decks for the future, that implies for a cost, right? For a unit cost. you'll spin the same amount of units, but it'll be a lot more efficient to tweak trees and decks. And we've heard Kabam talk about that for years now. We just haven't seen it implemented in the game. Thank you for your patience, and understanding continues to be what a parent tells their child once they've been grounded. You're grounded for a week. No cell phone, no internet, no TV. Thank you for your patience and understanding. I don't have any patience and understanding. I'm going to say that you can't spell fun without FU, but can't do that apparently anymore. So, I don't know. I think there's some positives to this, the 6-star shards being the most. But come on, Kabam, it's not going to kill you to give us another free week of mastery changes. This is why we can't have nice things, because we get used to them and then they take them away. I'm not saying that they should be permanent, although some of you have told me that you would like them to be, and I get why, but I also get why Kabam doesn't want them to be, because it costs them money and units, etc. But for a week it could have been, particularly to make it more usable and more feasible to switch them with Act 7, and maybe that's why Kabam didn't want to do it, because Act 7 is now out. I don't know. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to Brian Shadowstrike, as always, for keeping me updated with the forums.